Hello there, you are listening to Rock Made of Metal with myself, Ian Bully, and unfortunately, something happened. Now, this is a heads up to yourself. I was unable to capture my side of the recording when talking to Tony Kakko, so the times when you hear me talking, including now, it was recorded after the chat I had with Tony over the phone. Now, the chat that you'll hear with Tony Kakko was live as it was there and then. It's just my side of the things that had to be recorded afterwards, so you still get the full chat. However, I will try and make it seem as live as I possibly can during this interview. So, speaking of which, on the 15th of March 2013, I was on the telephone to Tony Kakko. I asked him how he was.
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
I was very good. I then went on to ask him what he was doing in Manchester.
Right now, I'm standing behind a trash bin, exactly. Because this is the only quiet place I could find here from the yard. We're in Manchester, and we're having this short four-show UK tour and having fun. Second show tonight, and then two more to go, and then actually I call it a tour in that point, because we only have festival shows left with this Stone Screw Her Name album. So this London show we have as the last show here, it's going to be the last show of Stone Screw Her Name World Tour. So it's a great thing,
I then asked what will happen after the tour.
I think I gotta get really busy writing songs during the summer, and because the idea is to start rehearsing like in September, and maybe go into studio around October or so, and then get the album released next winter sometime, maybe like March, April, around that time. A little bit earlier than what we did with Stone Screw Her Name, because it would be really great to be able to have one big tour before the summer festivals.
I asked why there were only a small amount of dates on this tour.
I have no idea. I would have loved to go everywhere, Scotland, Ireland, and every place, but this time around it was what we got here. I don't know why, but the next album we promised to tour more. We got to come back here. It's a lot of fun and great place to tour. I love it.
I was wondering what they thought of their support bands on that tour.
Well, I have actually seen only like less than a minute of each band, so that's a pretty short time to form an opinion. But there are some costumes and stuff like that, and really heavy metal, pretty heavy metal kind of stuff. So I think it's really cool. But I try to go and see one of these shows a little bit longer time. It's just yesterday was the first show, and just went out and checked what the guys look like and girls. So that was it. So it's too early for me to really say anything, but they are really solid. That can I say. That it's really cool to have them on tour with us.
At the time, I asked about a recent post on their website, which was asking fans to send in personal stories that were either influenced or inspired by Sonata Arctica. I asked Tony Kakko why directly ask their fans to do this.
It's kind of too early to say anything, but it's if that thing happens and we get financing for it and everything, it's going to be something really, really great and big. And I don't want to jinx it more than I did already there. So I'm just keep them stories pouring people, because it's a great thing, and I love reading those stories. I'm not personally the one who actually picks the stories. We have other people on that area of field. They have more time to read the stories, but eventually I will read each and every one of them, of course, because these stories I hear from people, and what they tell me always, it's a great inspiration for me. It's one of the reasons I enjoy doing what I do for a living. I have an impact on people's lives, which is a great thing. Sometimes you get a story, someone tells you that my song has saved his or her life in a certain situation, and then what can be bigger than that? So
I went on then to say that obviously this is something people really should strive for, and he should really feel proud about this.
Yeah, of course. But then again, sometimes it comes as it's a burden. Like Thomas from Nightwish, he put it this way, that you are kind of responsible for the lives you have saved. When you put it that way, it's like, oh shit. But then again, it's a pleasurable thing. It's really great to be able to say when you're old that I've made a difference in someone's life. Of course, everybody should have that kind of on their bucket list, change your life, do something good. And this is maybe my way of doing it.
Since the last album, Stones Throw Her Name, was released last year and out for a rather long time, I was wanting to check on what they really thought about the album, since it was such a large change from their previous work as a power metal band. The album had a lot more hard rock influences. I followed this up with what influences would they take for their next album and what would they change about the Stones Throw Her Name album now, looking back.
Well, this album definitely, it was way easier to get a hang of than the two previous ones, which we got a lot of critique about, that they are like too progressive and nothing what Sonata is really truly about. But this album, then again, of course, we already got some of those more progressive fans with those two albums, so it was kind of really shock for some of the fans to realize that, okay, now we've gone this way, writing an album that is fairly simple. There's not really huge progressive hooks, and the main idea was to keep things simple and keep the people, on the board, on board the whole time, and not losing anybody. So that was a shock. And but then again, I in my opinion, the latest album it's closer to our first album, which a lot of fans have dreamed of hearing more. That style, the power metal style. Only that, that's a trash bin emptying automatic thing here. Sorry. Yeah, so a lot of people, of course, would like to hear the early power metal stuff, where the songs were fairly simple, like Full Moon, for example. But then again, like Full Moon, it would fit Stones Throw Her Name album just like that. It's stylistically pretty much in vein with the latest album. So I tried to tell people that we've gone back to our roots in certain ways, but just dropped a really, really speedy double kick drum things. But otherwise, this is just Sonata Arctica, another Sonata Arctica album, fresh and different. And I don't know, maybe I think we in certain way the Stones Throw Her Name album should have and could have been a little bit more edgy and a little bit more rougher than it is at the moment. It got a little soft, but that's how it is. I write the songs I write, and we release an album that we are able to form out of those songs. And the next album, of course, now I have no songs at the moment for it, so it's clean slate, and I can start building an album that would have more of this, maybe a little bit more metallic edge to it, and rougher songs, and trying to approach the whole songwriting thing a little bit differently, like maybe asking the guys to kind of order songs for me, that write this kind of songs and that kind of songs. So it would make the thing whole lot different for me, and then it would be definitely a new approach that might help. I always try to find something new.
Recently, there were very, very small rumours about Northern Kings possibly forming, so I, being the blunt man that I am, I asked Tony Kakko if there was any foundations to this.
Well, the Northern Kings thing, it's been kind of on hold for a while, because everybody's busy with other bands. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, I think there's another phone call coming or something. I heard a peeping noise. Anyways, the Northern Kings thing, it's been on hold for a while because everybody's busy with their main bands. But we've been talking about maybe in some point writing even new songs for Northern Kings and releasing something totally different and new, which might be in order. In this point, we've released 2 cover albums, and I don't know which direction where would be dig next. Which kind of music we would do, because we've covered pretty much the 80s and the early 90s in certain style already, and it would be maybe necessary to have at least a few original songs for Northern Kings if we did it. But everybody's willing, but we don't have time to do it at the moment, unfortunately. But when there's a will, there's a way to get it done at some point, I'm sure.
So that was an interview I had for my personal hard rock / heavy metal platform, Rock Made of Metal. If you liked what you heard, then good, because this channel is all about connecting the fan to the band. If you want to be connected to all the latest hard rock / metal news, then please subscribe to this channel. Then check out www.rockmadeofmetal.wordpress.com. There, send in your messages of what you want to hear from next and from who, and I'll do my best to get that sorted. Thank you so much for listening in, and I hope to hear from you soon.